Hi everyone, BritSimon here. I wanted to talk to you about the UK lawsuit. Bit of an update for you on the UK lawsuit, and some interesting things have gone on even in the last few days. So a few days ago on Friday, um, we saw an announcement by the government basically admitting fault. The allegations in our lawsuit make clear that we know that the government failed to include the UK entries in the selection process. They failed to include both DV25 and DV26. And also, interestingly, as evidence of their stupidity, we also know that they included Cuba in the DV26 draw, where Cuba was supposed to be ineligible in that year. Okay, so it's very, very clear to me what they've done, and I was 100% sure we were going to win this lawsuit. And then out of the blue on Friday, so this Friday coming on the 15th, I think it is. Yeah, on the 15th, the calendar for the lawsuit meant that we had to have a response from the government by the 15th. And then a week ahead of that, on the 8th, the government published an announcement on their website saying that they had made a mistake with DV25, and they had mistakenly told people that they were not winners when they were winners from the UK in their normal process, right? Which was in May of 24 when they actually published those results, right? And as a result, people from the UK should go and check their entry status on the entry status check, and some of them would presumably find out they were winners now, right? At the same time as publishing that statement, they also sent out 43. I thought it was 44, but actually I'm going to correct that. It's 43. They had sent out to 43 cases by email a special email saying you better go check your ESC page. And so those people, those 43 emails that were sent out, were to actual UK winners under case number 23,000. In other words, those people were already current for the end of the year. And they went the extra mile, which I'm grateful for. In addition to publishing this notice on their webpage, they also emailed people because people wouldn't have had any idea otherwise, right? And so 43 winners presumably got that email, and some of them were prompted to seek out information. And I've spoken to some of those winners in the interim period, right? So I'll come back to that in a minute. But it's nice that they have at least sort of admitted their guilt. Funnily enough, though, Curtis had a conference call with the government lawyer today, and the government seemed to be suggesting that they haven't made a mistake on DV26. Because my lawsuit only had one plaintiff, who is my daughter, and that plaintiff, my daughter, only entered DV25, the government seemed to think this lawsuit is only about DV25, and that by doing what they did last week, they think that they had mooted out my case. In other words, made my lawsuit not necessary. That's bullshit. Of course, the lawsuit is still necessary. It's necessary to make sure that they process those DV25 winners properly. It's necessary for us to know that with data transparency of the data, to say, how do we know those 43 winners were the correct winners? How do we know, right? Did you play fair with the winners? We don't know. We don't trust the government to play fair. And part of the lawsuit is it's important that we get some data from them, entry numbers and that sort of thing, so that I can prove mathematically that, yes, the number of people selected for the UK is in the right ballpark, that there would be 43 winners, not 430 or 4,300. I should know, right? That's part of my right to know in the lawsuit. If I prevail, if I win in the lawsuit, and I'm going to win the lawsuit because they've admitted the guilt, right? So I mean, the lawsuit couldn't fail at this point. But they think they've mooted out the case by by making it by helping a few people. They haven't. We're not done. We're not going to shut up. And I'm very thankful that Curtis is a bulldog. He doesn't let go of stuff. And the government know that. He doesn't let go. He is like a bulldog. He's just not going to let go on this. The other thing that we need to know is that they're going to fix DV26. The government think that they can tell us, well, don't worry, there's nothing to see here. We don't intend to make any announcement for DV26. We're not going to fix it. We don't think it's broken, right? They think that because my daughter doesn't have a DV26 entry, and therefore they think that our lawsuit is not about DV26. Well, we're going to add some plaintiffs to the lawsuit, which will be DV26 entries. We'd always planned that we would probably have to do that. We always knew that we would have a little bit of a standing issue in order to address the 2 years, not just one. And so we're going to add some plaintiffs to the lawsuit, and we're going to do what's necessary to protect DV26 as well. Okay, so we're not giving up. Curtis is not giving up, even though frankly, it's an open goal for us to score the points. This is an easy lawsuit for Curtis in one way, but because the government has so obviously screwed up, there is an indefensible position from their point of view. And I'm amazed, frankly, they didn't come with more of a cap in hand, as it were, to the conference with Curtis today. They really should have done. But they'll find out in court. So the lawsuit continues. The progress is good. I'm very grateful for that. And let me just talk about some other good news. So over the weekend, some of those people, as I mentioned, some of those 43 cases from DV25 will have been busily filing their cases. I got in touch personally. I had video conference calls personally with 3 of those winners. I had another conversation with a 4th winner who unfortunately isn't going to be able to process their case because they made a mistake. But 3 of the winners are going to be able to process. And they're filing their paperwork as quickly as possible, right? Now, one of them filed their DS260 over the weekend and has already been processed. We've been in touch with KCC, and KCC have already scheduled their interview for the London embassy in mid-September. So this is incredible news. We've gone from last Thursday, few people were wandering around the UK, thinking nothing of it. On Friday, they get an email saying, hey, go check your ESC page. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're talking back and forth, and now they're scheduled for interviews in September. This is at least one case, and I think other cases will be getting similar sort of treatment as we speak. Part of what they did, by the way, and this is important, if you're one of the winners one of the 43 cases that I haven't spoken to yet, please do reach out and contact me. The reason for that is that there was information that that winner was able to pass to KCC to make sure their case was prioritized very quickly through the system to get the DS260 processed. DS260 processing at the moment is pretty broken. It can take normally 2 months, 3 months for processing of DS260s. And so the fact that this case got processed in a few days means that it was personally attended to by workers at KCC and pushed through, expedited through all of the processing. And then London Embassy is on standby to take our expedited cases, to schedule those cases, even though normal scheduling for September has completed. And so if you want that sort of treatment, frankly, you're going to get that best by contacting me, letting me know who you are, and letting us help you push your case through in an expedited manner. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm not a lawyer. I don't charge for my services. I've spent money on this lawsuit, my own personal money on this lawsuit, thousands of dollars coming out of my back pocket. So my intent here is to get as much value for that money as I can, and that means getting cases through. That's just, the happiness factor for me will go up and up and up for every every case that I can get through in time for DV25, and all of the happy cases will get through for DV26, right? So make it worth my while. Don't let this money be be spent in vain. The more and more cases, the more and more happiness I can get from that, the better it will be. And I should mention, by the way, I had a lot of people support me in the costs as well, and through a GoFundMe page, which I greatly appreciate those people that did that. Every single person that did that, and I think I need to mention this again because I've mentioned it before, but I think it's important to understand. Every single person that contributed towards that lawsuit and helped me offset the costs knew that their chance of being selected was 1 in 100 years. And therefore, when they spent that money, when they helped me sue the government, they did that because it was the right thing to do. We should hold the government to account sometimes. And they wanted to support me in that effort, not because of their personal gain, not because they stood to gain anything necessarily, but that somebody would stand to gain. And that's exactly what's happening. And so we've got some very nice, happy stories that we can tell in time about some of the fabulous people that are going to be able to emigrate to America because of the lawsuit. And that makes it worthwhile, frankly. And so everybody's contributions to help me do that and give me the confidence to actually say, yes, I should put myself, up for arguing with the government again. All of the people that supported me in that, I really appreciate it. I mean that. It's tremendous. I also got help or support from one particular source, again, that I very much appreciate. I don't want to go into details about that one, but for privacy reasons, that person has asked not to be named. But there was somebody who is prepared to sort of dig in their own pocket quite deeply also to support me for that. And whilst that's probably not necessary now, I very much appreciate that support. And it's just, it makes you feel good that people are out there doing the right thing and prepared to be nice people. And sometimes when when they've got no need or no personal gain, and I think that's tremendous. It makes me believe in humanity. Anyway, so that's my update on the lawsuit. Big activity happening in the background. There will be now a suggested, so the timeline will get extended for the lawsuit. It's going to be extended towards the end of September. Which would have been a problem if we were talking about DV25, but DV25 is being taken care of. So this lawsuit is going to be argued in the background for a time being. There'll be some weeks when that will be just sort of, there won't be much updates, but the lawsuit will be continuing. And some of you have already agreed also to be added as named plaintiffs to that lawsuit. And that's going to be very important for us to be able to push that DV26 aspect forward as well. So that's good. So yeah, lots of good stuff about the lawsuit. I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. All right, everybody. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. Check out updates on BritSimonSays.com as well, and I'll keep you in touch with everything that happens on the lawsuit as much as I can say. And fingers crossed, we're gonna get some good results out of it. All right, thanks everybody. Bye bye now.